Previously on Kingdom Come, deliverance.
Leave lobster hands. I'm not like the other girls.
I know, Clara. You are different. you deserve more. You.
How are you, Henry?
My respects to you.
So, are you happy with your new cook, Merchant Hagen?
Happy? It's a fucking nightmare.
Well, what's the matter? I chose her according to my best knowledge and conscience.
She's not worth a damn as a cook. She might learn if she put the effort in, but she spends most of her time caring for that cripple.
Cripple?
I wanted a cook. Instead, you sent me a housekeeper and a servant who can't lift a finger and demands her attention. And I have to feed and house him. I won't throw them out. At least for now. But I can't say I'm grateful for your help. Take care now.
你在哪里？你在这里。
You sent me to the miller, eh?
What? Well, it was just a sort of...
You're lucky. You really did owe me, and he was so shocked you gave it all to me. What do you need then?
Do you know there's a girl crying on your doorstep?
I executed her husband.
What? You killed him?
No, not like that. It was done lawfully. She knew he had it coming.
So then, why...
Folk would like to drive her out of town. She has no one here. For a while I thought I could take care of her, but it wasn't to be.
Why?
Do you really have to ask? I can't even go to the tavern for company, and no one would sup their ale with me. And when I die, they'll probably push me into a hole with a stick so as not to touch my corpse.
Is it really that bad?
I'm not complaining, mind. It's a well-paid job, if you don't mind being a pariah. They might look sideways at you, too, just for talking to me.
And that's what she's afraid of?
Exactly.
所以做这一种那个送人上去断头台的人，大家会对他有歧视，然后就不敢接近他。难怪他自己一个人住在这里。
Doesn't that crying girl have any kin?
None she knows of. Poor lass. You could help her, though, if you wanted.
Me? How?
Elishka has no family, but her husband might still have some kin. Nobody will talk to me, but you could find out more.
Why do you want to find her family anyway? Don't you want her to stay here?
I do. She's a splendid woman, but I'd never want to keep her here against her will. The life I lead isn't for everyone.
What would she have to put up with if she stayed with you?
A lot. I can't deny. Most of the townfolk wouldn't give her the time of day, at least not in public. If we had children, it would be even worse for them.
That doesn't sound like a very happy life.
It's not all bad. It's a well-paid job and even respected in a way. And when someone needs a bone set, all of a sudden they forget your reputation.
How can I find out if there's any family?
Try asking Elishka herself. She knows a thing or two about them. But in the end, you'll still have to go and find out something from the bailiff, or from the records at the rat house.
所以他这个男的好像很想帮助他，然后好像有点喜欢这个女生。
All right. I'll see what I can do.
My thanks, if only for the thought.
嗨，姑娘，我来跟你谈谈，我们来聊聊天，我们可以去后面的谷仓。
Herman sent me.
What a way to end up.
Don't despair. It could be a lot worse.
Only death could be worse, and I'm not far from it.
Can I ask about your family?
What do you want to know?
Don't you have any kin left? Someone who'd take you in?
No. They all died of the plague. And then I ended up with that man of mine. I always knew he'd get strung up one day.
那个人躲在旁边偷看。
Didn't your husband have any kin?
Maybe. He mentioned some, but we never went to see them.
Is that all you know?
Yes. But if they're anything like my old man, the bailiff and his catchpolls will know about them.
That's all I need.
躲在旁边偷看，好像我会对这女的怎样啊？真是的，哎呀，这么小心眼啊！
God be with you. Do you know Elishka, the wife of the man who was hanged recently?
The one that's with the executioner now.
That's her.
Life can be cruel sometimes.
Right. And do you know if she has kinfolk somewhere around?
How should I know? Now, if you don't mind, I'm very busy.
If Elishka stays with the executioner, it'll end up being your problem anyway.
Christ, oh, all right then. Tell the scribe.
Where can I find him?
He's suffering with some ailment, so no doubt he'll be lying in his chambers above his study, on the top floor of the rat house.
躺平了。
My respects to you, sir.
I'd like to ask if...
This knee of mine hurts like hell.
I'd like to ask...
Young man, there's always someone who wants to ask something. What do you need?
I wondered if you could take a look in your books for me, and,
Books? God above, am I to shuffle around here with my knees the way they are?
好靠北哦。
I could bring you something for your knees.
From some old hag? That's nothing but a load of... Oh! Ow! Oh! Well, I suppose it might be worth a try.
超靠北的，好靠北哦，傻小啊！哦，叫的好假，哦，嗷，哦，你妈的嘞！
The bailiff sent me.
That's another matter, then. What do you need, friend?
I've got something here for that knee of yours.
Really?
This ointment should help.
Thank you. Let's just hope it works.
真的超靠北的，哦哦哦，叫的一点灵魂的感觉，有没有感觉不到那种真的痛的那种叫声？
Is it possible to find out from the records where someone lives?
You think we keep records of every serf? For Christ's sake, they breed like rabbits.
But I thought that in the rat house, though, in the books...
Boy, the books are for recording pacts, undertakings, punishments, property rights, and so forth. In other words, important things. We don't keep records of serfs.
Elishka won't be happy about that.
Elishka? You don't mean the one who married into the Mishek family?
Yes. Yes, you know her.
Why wouldn't I? I used to play dice with old Mishek years ago. He had a son, a nice, polite lad. How is he?
Oh, you know, he's quite tied up these days.
Well, if you see him, tell him to swing by.
And where are the Misheks living now?
A stone's throw from Rate by the small fish pond.
Thanks.
你好，
What do you want?
I've got information about your daughter-in-law. Elishka's fine, only she needs...
Never heard of her. Get lost.
She's your nearest kin. Elishka's part of your family, and she really needs you...
I won't help anyone.
I could make it worth your while.
Really? And what is it you want?
Your son's widow needs help. She has nowhere to go.
What do I care about some useless girl?
She could help you with the farm. She definitely knows how to take care of things.
A bit of help would come in handy. Send her here, then. But don't let her think she'll be taking it easy. She'll have her work cut out.
That sounds quite...
And if I hear a peep out of her, I'll take a stick to her back.
Fine salvation this is.
真的很儿媳妇哎，她是你新妇嘞，她是你新妇嘞，这样对她。哦，如果我跟我老婆结婚哦，如果我以后跟一个女生结婚之后，我一定会听女生。女生要疼的啊， 世界上最难解决的问题之一，婆媳问题。Hey,
Ilishka's looking better.
She is, but she's not happy. God sent the poor girl great trials.
Indeed.
Did you know her whole family was wiped out by the plague? She was barely 12.
Losing your family isn't easy.
Ah, sorry, I wasn't thinking. So, did you find out anything about that kin of hers?
I have. I tracked them down. They say they'd take her in, but I'm not sure she'd do well there.
Leave that to her. I just hope she'll be better off than now.
You're not crying now?
I'm not. I've wept enough for a lifetime.
It's a bit of a change since my last visit.
I haven't had much luck in my life, but I've always worked things out in the end. Tears are no help to anything.
That's true.
So, did you find out something about them?
I did. I found your husband's father and mother, and they're willing to take you in.
But...
你现在不哭了？对，我不哭了，我眼泪已经流干了。妈的嘞！
They're not very nice people, Ilishka. They'd probably work you to the bone, but you would get fed.
Life is never easy, but at least I'd have a family.
You're right. I'll have another talk with Herman.
Good luck then.
I've heard the way you talk about her, and would you like Ilishka to stay?
You know, Hal, she was always the sweetest girl. When she came with her family to retire, still single, she was a sight to behold. And it might surprise you, but she even had a word or two for me now and again. It grieved me when she married that wastrel. It was a foolish idea, but I always thought maybe she and I could... Well, fate likes a good laugh. Now I've strung up her old man. I have her under my roof. After all the years I was thinking of her. I don't want her to leave, but I don't want her to be unhappy here either.
Mm-hmm.
Have you made your mind up?
I can't decide. I don't know Mishik's kin at all, but at least I'd have a family.
Herman could give you a family too.
He's a decent, upright fellow. I've met none better, and that's the honest truth. But he's an executioner.
And what's the problem? That the other women won't chat with you down at the creek? Did that sort of gossip ever interest you anyway? He's a fine man, isn't he? He's willing to take care of you, and he has the means to do it. And he wants you. He's so sick with love for you, he can't even sleep.
But did he really say that?
He told me he's been in love with you for years. He said he always thought you were the sweetest girl in Ratai.
That's true. We used to meet now and again and exchange a few words. Well, he always treated me nicely. By all that's holy, you're right. I'll stay here. Goodbye.
靠北，妈的，这两个都是戏精呢。
Herman,
Yes?
can I stay here with you?
You mean for good?
If you don't want me to.
You can! By God, you can! You've made me the happiest man in the world.
靠北。刚刚剧情一直在演，我一直在忍着不笑，就是妈的，靠，超会演的、啊，妈的，刚刚一哭完，然后被另外一个男人抱，然后就笑了，我操啊，这是什么神剧情啊？然后亨利也是一张嘴，哦，妈的嘞。
Thank you, Henry. I've a feeling with Herman I can finally find some happiness.
You will. The two of you are made for each other.
我一直笑，我靠呗，哦，看有够扯的这个。
Thank you, Hal. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. The main thing is everything worked out well.
It did, thank you. And I want you to have this. God almighty, I've got Ilishka. After all these years, me, The executioner has the woman he loves.
哦，干妈的，笑到眼泪都流出来了。天造地设，婊子与杀人犯吗？靠北，这真的剧情神扯的，哎呦妈的，哦，笑到流眼泪啊！哦靠，什么鬼啊？女人的老公被刽子手杀了，然后在那边哭，然后这个男主角呢帮他找到了他的家，然后他就说他不哭了，然后说不哭之后呢，就说想要跟刽子手在一起，然后就天造地设的一对，然后就配在一起了。他妈的，哦，好笑，这个好笑，靠妈的神剧情，哦，超好笑的，我刚刚一直在忍笑，我一直在忍，哇，那个剧情是有够哭的，真的，超级靠腰的，真薄荷非常。
Welcome, Henry.
哦，吓我一跳！我只是踩薄荷，我没有偷东西哦。
What do you need?
Is there any work here for carpenters?
In this day and age, I'm glad I can support myself.
Hi.
You've been working at the mill for a while now, haven't you?
Pretty long. Why'd you ask?
I heard there's a possibility of finding work here for 2 talented carpenters.
That depends on how talented they are.
I'd say they're talented enough.
We'll soon see. But go talk to the miller about it, all right?
Of course. Is the miller very strict?
The miller isn't, but his foreman doesn't give the workers anything for free, besides kicks and insults.
Well, hopefully that won't happen. They're good men.
I'll be happy if that's true. God bless.
Good day to you. What do you need?
老托马斯。
Is there any work here for carpenters?
No, I'm not looking for anyone at the moment. Farewell. My respects to you.
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, 2 survivors of Scalets, are looking for work.
And why should I take that?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
I'm from Scalets, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines, and their master couldn't praise them highly enough.
In the Scalets mines? That's skillful work. I'll be glad to talk to them. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
Good luck to you.
God be with you.
The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. Couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only...
What?
The reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Nah, that doesn't matter. You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage. Take care now.
又是你
Good.
打架吗？来，哇，要打架，我当然好。来。
We've met before, haven't we?
We have. And you defeated me in combat. So now, I seek a reprisal.
That sounds interesting. But what shall we fight for?
Ah, so chivalry alone is not enough to tempt you.
No, sir. I'm drawn to more, glittering bait.
I see. Well, why not? Let us make it more interesting, then. I'll tell you what. I have a fine suit of armor, a horse, and a sword I won at dice. The horse and sword I can use, but the armor doesn't fit me well. I'll bet a piece of armor against a reasonable sum of groschen.
All right, why not?
I'm glad to hear it. Let's get to it, then.
他要报仇。 击杀吗？他输了，我把他干掉了。被我敲2下就倒了，怎么办？我要等他起床吗？
Here, the reward you've earned.
哦，但你身体还被我拔光了，好笑。
I heard you had a fight with Fritz and Matthew.
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me. And I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
Isn't that a little unchristian? You wouldn't want personal spite to ruin their lives, would you?
Well, those were just idle threats, really. If they come and apologize, there's always a possibility of forgiveness.
About your brawl with Elias. Your best friend settled the matter.
You're serious?
Absolutely. All you have to do is go to him and promise you'll pay the debt somehow.
We won't forget this. On my honor. And I'm really sorry about that fight. I was just going out of my mind.
这个吗？诶，有了。哦。哎，拿到了！我刚看到了，就是这个，就是这个，这个。阿维森纳亡灵之书拿到了。
I have that cloth for you.
Ah, excellent.
你现在一
Here's
天
your reward.
Would you have any work for me?
Yes, I might have. It all depends if you like beer.
Do you plan to send me for some, or to rob a brewery?
I want the recipe. The landlord in Ujits makes a brew that could earn a man a pretty sum of money, if only he had a mind to share it. But he doesn't. You'll go there and pinch his recipe. Although he can't read, he had the scribe write it down for him, but you'll have to hunt around for the sheet.
I can't see you hanging up your miller's apron and starting to brew beer. But I'll bring you that recipe.
Fine. Just don't be too long about it.
I've got the book.
Really? You're a fine fellow. Well, show me it then.
Here it is.
Wonderful. Come back in a little while. I need to read through it and find that spell. And here's a reward for your efforts.
老板的老板你好。
Henry, just the man I want to see. I need help with something.
What's the problem, sir?
The Archbishop's vicar has come to Ujits. I don't know why exactly, but the rumor is that he's on the hunt for heretics, which frankly never meant any good, especially for me.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really up on religious ranks, sir. What does a vicar do, exactly?
You don't have to apologize. It's the devil's own work to make sense of their twisted hierarchy. The vicar is short for vicarious, meaning in place of. He has full power to act on his superior's behalf.
I see.
In this case, sadly, the superior in question is that nincompoop, Archbishop Zbigniew Hare of Hassenburg.
What should I do about him, then?
Firstly, find out why he's really here. He might truly be on the hunt for heretics, which wouldn't be good news. Or it's equally possible he's here to size up my estate, which would be even worse.
I understand. And then what?
The best thing for me and all concerned would be for him to pack his bags and go back to Prague.
And how can I, encourage him to do that? I can't just kick him out, can I?
No, of course not. But if you can make him believe there's nothing to find here, he'll be off in no time. So tell him I've sent you to assist him.
I understand. And my task is to assist him in finding nothing.
Indeed.
And what if there really are heretics?
My boy, have you ever seen a heretic?
No.
There, you see? I haven't either. Most of the time the prelates just invent them to scare folk with. So don't put much faith in their existence.
But
what if there really are some? Then deal with them. But make sure that interfering bastard gets out of here.
are you at odds with the Archbishop in some way, sir?
No, I've never even seen him. But that's no guarantee he doesn't have his eye on my estate.
But how could he get his hands on it?
He's an archbishop. They have long fingers, my boy. And now, without the king around, it's the perfect time to amass a nice little hoard. Believe me, I know. They say in Prague that he's a complete dolt. But I rather doubt that.
Why?
All the Hare clan are as shrewd as they come. I know that better than most.
Uh-huh. Very well. I'll get going straight away.
Good luck, lad. And be careful. Clergymen are wily weasels, so take care.
I'll be careful. Don't worry, Sir Hanush.
God be with you.
神职人员都是很狡猾的。
Yeah.
然后我记得这个教堂了，我跟这个神父在那边喝酒玩女人。
I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
Do you have any work that needs doing?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. Another pair of shoulders would ease my burden. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who will stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with 2 heads and a tail.
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some Uzhets women to witchery.
And what's the problem?
As long as herb women stick to giving psychic to folk and bloated cows, assisting in childbirth, or burning incense in bedrooms to help with sleep, then nothing at all. But this is sacrilege, and it's unsafe. All sorts of molds and lichens and poisonous plants and other foul things go into those concoctions. I'd hate to see her poison some poor gullible lass.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you can and deal with it.
Consider it done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gertrude, the old herb woman, in the woods. God be with you.
与魔共舞。
What do you want here, lad?
God save, Monsignor. My name's Henry, and I've been sent by Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Sir Hanush, And why is he sending you?
I'm to assist you in your search.
Oh, I see. How considerate of him. Well, you've come at the right time. I need someone who'll go unnoticed among the locals. I'm sure Sir Hanush told you what I'm doing here.
He said you're looking for heretics?
Exactly. I'm seeking out the sores that inflict the body of the church. The rash of heretics. Waldensians. Dangerous heretics, one and all.
How did you conclude there are heretics here?
We caught one in Gutenberg. He confessed to everything, including meeting up with others in Uzhitz a few times.
And that was all he told you?
By the end, all his strength had left him, so he couldn't even put together a list.
I'm guessing he didn't speak willingly?
Of course not.
Little wonder his strength deserted him in the executioner's clutches. It's a pity. He might have known more.
My lad, guard your tongue. It's unwise to question the ways of Mother Church. Heretics are a canker on the body of the Church. Do you know what's to be done with such an ulcer? You take the hot iron to it and burn it out. It may hurt. It hurt me too, to have to cause the man to suffer. But it had to be done for the well-being of the Church.
哇，以前都没有信仰自由这种东西耶。哦，真的是只要跟自己信仰不一样，就会被冠上是异教徒。
Who are these Valdensians? I've never heard of them.
Really? Then you've either not been paying attention in church, or the parish priest in Ratai is too idle to read out the bishop's missive to the congregation. Both possibilities are equally disturbing, but I'll allow you the benefit of the doubt and assume it's the latter. But to answer your question, it's a heretical sect.
I gathered that much, but what form does the heresy take?
Look, boy, I don't have time right now to embark on theological disputation. Besides which, it's not something you need concern yourself with. Suffice it to say, they are heretics.
Very well, Monsignor. Are there any suspects?
Everyone is a suspect. You can be sure of that. But I'll know more after I finish the interrogations.
Well, I'm not from Ujits exactly, so I don't know how well they'll accept me.
That's good, because the last thing I need is one of these local good-for-nothings. I can't trust a single one of them. And they don't trust me either. But you're an ordinary lad with a likable face, if a bit simple-looking. You'll have a much better chance of learning their secrets.
You flatter me, Monsignor. Very well then. How can I help you then?
Excellent. Let's get right to the point, Henry. I know how to get to where the heretics congregate.
And what's stopping you from going there, sir?
That is to say, I know in theory. The crux of the matter is this. We caught a heretic in Kutenberg who told us of the heretics in Ujits. Regrettably, by the time he got around to describing their meeting place, he was already raving and hardly coherent.
I see. So do you know where they meet up, or don't you?
Possibly. His account was confused, to say the least. I have a record somewhere here. Can you read, boy?
Naturally, Father. Otherwise Sahanish wouldn't have sent me.
I see. It's a good thing at least the servants of the nobility are getting a suitable education. Some of their own offspring can hardly write their own names. Here's the record of the interrogation. From what I can make out, his description of the route starts at the local tavern. Once you've found something out, come back and see me.
I'll do my best, Father. Sorry, Father. I'm afraid I'm not up to reading that document.
That's all right, lad. My scribe has a truly dreadful scrawl. I began my pilgrimage in Ujits, a den of iniquity where the people were drinking and fornicating. So I left that corrupt place at once. The only place I could make out was the local tavern. And at once I saw another abomination. The Temple of the Bride of the Antichrist, with the proud Babylonian tower. I went past it quickly towards the rising sun. When I left the village, I came upon a crossroads and didn't know which way to go. So I fell on my knees and prayed, and my prayer was heard, for the finger of Christ rose from the ground to show the right path. On I went, through this sinful land, and suddenly I heard the sound of 1,000-headed crowd at work, and I saw their queen and their towers. I journeyed further on, and all at once there rose from the ground the jaws of the behemoth, and his broken teeth jutted up to the heavens like the tombstones of the Moabites. So I went through the mouth of the beast, and by the road I saw the abode of the apostles Peter and Andrew. I was hungry, so I took the fruits of their labors and filled my belly. Then I left their house and saw 2 widows weeping and keening. I wept with them, and they let me sleep in their shadow. I went further along the edge of the world, and saw the ribs of the great Leviathan washed up by the sea. Then I saw 2 bridges over the river Jordan, and the devil tempted me and tried to lure me to the one on the right. But I saw through his deception and went against his will. And then I finally saw it, the gateway to the Garden of Paradise, abundant with foliage. It was guarded by men of straw, but they saw I was a good Christian and let me enter therein.
That sounds rather insane.
As I say, he was probably raving. Do you recognize any of those places?
No, but I can look for them.
Excellent. That's what I wanted to hear.
这公三小说的那么像是在写故事书一样，不懂什么叫白话文吗？
I'll get working on it, sir.
God be with you, my son.